First step in perfect makeup is the One Size Oil Sucker Primer. I use that primer to spot treat my oily areas such as my T-zone, cheeks, and chin. Areas where I tend to sweat, such as along my hairline, gets the sweat proof primer, and the rest of my face I went in with a pore primer. To cover any redness, and in this case cuts, yes, I cut myself dermaplaning, didn't have my usual dermaplaning wand, that's another story. I'd go in with a little extra concealer, cream concealer to be precise. First step in my glam is brows. I always like to start with brows as they shape and frame the face. Here I'm using the Makeup by Mario brow pencil in the shade Classic Brunette. And I use the golden ratios developed by Anastasia herself to fill in my brows as well as clients' brows. This gets the perfect brow shape for everyone's bone structure. Next I tightline. I use the Makeup by Mario eyeliner in black. I started on my top lash line, then onto my bottom waterline. Yes, it's still a struggle for me sometimes. Going in next with my eyeshadow primer. I like using this Makeup Forever concealer. It is, most importantly, aside from being full coverage, it blocks oil. And as we get older, our eyelids tend to get oily, and that tends to ruin makeup. Next, I'm just patting in to create that canvas. So I pat in all over the lid, and when I come toward the edges, I use brushing motions as well as under the eye. Next, I set with setting powder. I use the Makeup by Mario loose setting powder here. And I prefer this method as opposed to leaving it sticky. As I've gotten older, I feel like there is more creasiness at the center of my lid, and this helps to prevent creasing eyeshadow. I use two eyeshadow palettes to create this look. First is the Supreme Mauves by Artist Couture. And I start with this deep color at the outer V. Next I go in with Jeffree Bloodlust palette, and I begin to use that color to blend out the deep dark color. As you can see, I take my blending very serious. And it takes a lot of time, especially when you're working with very pigmented shadows, just to get the blend to the perfect spot that I want. So I tend to take my time and really blend to give that nice, smooth, sultry look. Next, going back into my Jeffree palette. And as you go up with the look, the lighter the shadow colors become. So I'm working here with gradients of purple. I wore a purple dress that night. Back to the Supreme Mauves. Blend, blend, blend. Next, going in with the Artist Couture powder that I use all over my face. This step is crucial if you want your eyes to blend in with the rest of your face as a smooth transition. It also softens the sharp lines and cleanliness of the brows without ruining the line. Back with my Supreme Mauves at my brow bone, using the lightest color in the palette. Now this is key to any successful makeup look. You reverse your eyeshadow blend. If you ever look at the P. Louise tutorials, they do the same thing. All the colors that you went in, initially building from darkest to lightest, you are now going back in the reverse, starting from the lightest and going back to the darkest colors. This really helps to show the pigment when you use multiple eyeshadows to build a look. And it also guarantees a smooth, buttery blend. Next, my favorite part, Diamond Lights Eye Finisher. This is one of my favorite eye toppers. This is in the shade Epiphany. If you go on Artist Couture website, he has other colors. Next, back into my Supreme Mauves with a flat brush and bringing that dark color along my lower lash line, just depositing and patting the color in. Then going with these two colors from the Jeffree palette and using a pencil brush to blend out the first lay down color. Just giving my upper lash line some definition, soft definition, by using black eyeshadow as opposed to black eyeliner, and bringing more of that epiphany into my inner corner. Now for complexion, I go in with my Makeup Forever palette and I mix the cream foundation with that palette in with the fresh oil serum. What this does when you mix it 50-50 is that it gives you the coverage of a cream foundation along with the mobility and the application of a liquid foundation. Next, blush. In between that, I blend and apply more concealer. Now the reason I go in with a fan is that the fan helps to dry down the concealer on the spots so it doesn't end up all over the face. It also helps to build coverage so you end up using less concealer, so there's less chance for cakiness. And here I'm using cream bronzer just to bring back some more color and warmth to the face. To set the under eyes, next brow gel, and of course topping off with some powdered blush. To really make my nose look smaller and add to that illusion, I like to use a tiny brush just to add highlight a little bit at the bridge and at the tip of my nose. Lastly, my eyelashes. This is Baby Doll Behavior from Artist Couture. And looking down into your mirror, holding the mirror under your nose really helps make the application easy. If you want to see how I did my lips, you can check my short where I did the lip combo, a nice pink lip combo, and I'm still doing that series.